Meeting of Texas Opioid Abatement Fund Council, all comes to order. It is 2:00, Monday, September 8th, 2025, pursuant to the notice of public meeting, which was posted by the Office of Secretary of State on Thursday, August 21st, 2025. The council will consider only those matters that have been posted. Slides will be displayed during the WebEx meeting indicating the topic under discussion. The meeting materials were just now made available on our website. There are some hard copies here in the room and to be made available as well. So we can send those out via email. Members, you must have your camera on and audio working when you're speaking. We also ask that those of you in the room identify yourselves before speaking so the online audience can follow along. Those on the WebEx, please feel free to use the hand raised function. Votes will be taken with a voice vote today. Each of you is an integral to this process, so please keep your camera on and be ready to unmute yourselves when it comes time to vote. If we lose the WebEx connection for some reason and are unable to restore it, we'll end the meeting and notify members via email. I will also ask Katie Fallon Brown, Director of OAFC, to call roll.
Acting Controller Hancock.
Here.
Dr. Demore.
Here.
Dr. Eloise.
Yeah,
Can you turn your camera on, please, sir?
my camera is on here on my side. I don't know what's happening from your side.
We'll come back to you. Detective Enriquez.
Here.
Dr. Fernandez.
Here.
Dr. Guevara.
Here.
Dr. Mills.
Here.
Dr. Milton.
Here.
Dr. Patel.
Here.
Good to see you. Dr. Thornton.
Here.
Dr. Wilkes. See you. Dr. Wilkes.
Here.
Awesome. And Dr. Eloise again.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ms. Yoder is absent.
There being 11 council members present, a quorum is established. I do want to thank you all for attending the meeting. Obviously, I'm fairly new in this role, but not fairly new to the subject matter in itself. I'll give you a little brief synopsis. Number one, this is more words than I normally say, so I served in the Senate with my own microphone and rarely used it, but we're gonna follow the script. I from North Texas, Tarrant County area, born and raised, married high school sweetheart. Actually went to kindergarten together. Went to Baylor together. Had 3 kids, 6 grandkids. Had 2 of them last night. I woke up off and on before I was up at 4:45 and wanted to get down here on time. So, but they're all in Tarrant County as well. Served school board for 13 years, served in the Texas House for 6 years, served in the Senate for 13 before, I had my own business, chemical distribution, that I was planning on slowing down from when the governor called. So I didn't slow down. I picked up a little bit, but the timing was perfect for that. So I've actually resigned the Senate on the 18th, was sworn in on the 19th, walked in the acting controller's room and there's no furniture. So I realized I was taking over pretty quickly. And did that officially, took over July 1 when Glenn was to be changed for Texas A&M. He and I are good friends, communicated, so we've been talking for a while and anticipating that this might be a possibility. Enjoying the work immensely. I love business economics and I'm a numbers guy, like all my dad and stuff. So that's kind of the brief of it. I could drone on and on like most politicians, but it's not my style. I was dreading this meeting because of all the script I have to read, to tell you the truth. But I do appreciate y'all participating in this and being a part of it. And so we are going to try to stick with it just because I think this particularly is something we need to make sure I don't get off track too much. So any questions, thoughts, and then so that we all, I guess for me, for my good, if we could all just kind of go around and introduce ourselves, just a brief snippet, and we'll go from there. So, why don't you start, and then we'll go this way. So, I don't know.
I'm Katie Fallon Brown. I'm the director of the Opioid Abatement Fund Council.
I'm Mark Vogel, I'm attorney with Fiscal and Agency Affairs, the firm attorney for the council.
I'm Chris Jacobsley. I'm a contracts and grants attorney in operations and support legal services.
I'm John Mills. I work for the University of North Texas Health Science Center. And board certified in public health. Corrections.
Williams Dad was my principal of Abatement High School. Michael Williams, who
I'm Ethan Hurt on the OAFC grant programs.
David Cruz, I'm the Assistant Director of Statewide Community Investment Program.
it's fairly new.
New one.
Yeah.
I'm Lydia Anderson. I'm the Communications and Community Relations Specialist for the OAFC.
I'm Noel Nalisic. I'm the financial analyst for the council.
Rob Coleman, Associate Deputy Controller.
Rick Conti, Director of SCIP.
I'm Scott Milton. I'm a council member. I'm trained as an infectious disease doctor. And I'm currently working for the state of Texas for the Department of State Health Services region.
I'm Ron Enriquez, a detective with the Austin Police Department, currently assigned to Drug Enforcement Administration. Council.
So how about
Oh, wait. no, no.
on the screen, let's say,
Start
what do
with
you think left?
Dr. Wells, do you want to go first?
So,
Sure.
Okay.
I'm Dr. Wilkes. I am a council member, anesthesiologist, pain physician, and here at UTMB in Galveston County.
where you gonna go, Dr. Moore?
So, Dr. Moore.
Yeah, Dr. Moore.
Hi, I'm Carrie DeMoore. I'm an emergency physician. I'm a member of the council, live in Frisco, work in the emergency department in Frisco and out in Paris, Texas, and was appointed by Attorney General Kim Paxton to this council several years ago.
Okay, let's go bottom left, Dr. Thornton.
Dr. Thornton.
Hey, good morning or good afternoon. My name is Doug Thornton. I'm a pharmacist by training and health services researcher. I work at the University of Houston College of Pharmacy, live in Fort Bend County, and work in Harris County. So great to meet you.
Dr. Patel.
Hi, I'm Sanjay Patel. I'm a community newborn intensivist, graduated from UCLA and working in Odessa area for 21 years.
Dr. Guevara.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Robert Guevara. I'm a family practice physician, psychiatrist, and addictionologist working in South Texas for Tropical Texas Behavioral Health. And I'm on faculty at University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. And it's nice to meet all the new faces and to see everybody again. Thank you.
Dr. Eloise.
Good afternoon, all. I'm Mane Loise from University of Texas, Tyler here. Professor of internal medicine and also a specialist in addiction medicine. I'm also the associate dean for GME and for professional development here at UT Tyler.
Dr. Fernandez.
Hello all, I'm Pedro Fernandez. I'm a faculty at UT Southwestern and I work at Parkland Health here in Dallas County. I'm a psychiatrist and addiction medicine by specialty and glad to be part of this council.
Then smack in the middle is Robin Greenway. She's one who really runs the show. She's downstairs. She's our operations specialist.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move to the minutes. So we will now consider the adoption of the minutes from April 14, 2025, the council meeting. Remember, you received a copy of the minutes before today's meeting that are being displayed on the screen. And now on page 8 of our council book. And I will need a motion. Motion to approve the minutes. Need a second?
Second.
Fernandez. We'll use you again. We got plenty of these. Sure. So. Now, if everybody would unmute themselves as we take the vote, all those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed, no. Being 11 ayes and no nays. Motion passed. Now we'll move on to the adoption of from April 30th, 2025 meeting of the Texas Opioid Abatement Fund Council. Is there any discussion or action? All right, we'll now consider adoption of the minutes of April 30th, 2025. Council meeting, members, you received a copy of the minutes for today's meeting that are being displayed now on the screen, the new minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
All right. We have a motion from Dr. Gordon. Do I have a second?
A second.
Second. All right. All right, all those in favor say. All those in favor.
Aye.
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 Those opposed? No? Any abstaining? There being 11 ayes, no nays. Motion passes. No, right. All right, I'm gonna pass one to you now.
Okay, now we're on to agenda item number 4. In accordance with the council's 2025 grant plan, the NOFA was published in April for the spring short-term community-based opioid recovery effort grants. The NOFA published in April allocated $25 million across 20 regions per the percentages set in rule for local organizations to apply for grants to address the opioid crisis at its roots. The core grants are to be less than 1 year and no more than $250,000 or 20% of the region's allocation, whichever is higher. On the slide here, in the NOFA, we listed the regional allocation as well as the maximum award in each region. At the end of May, we received 203 applications. The number of applications per region varied from 2 to 29. 166 applications passed initial screening and they were moved to peer review. With the 166 applications, 9 of the regions had applications requesting more than the total available funding allocated for the region. We're calling those competitive regions. In the other 11 regions, there is enough allocated funding for all of the applications received if the majority of the council chooses. Those regions, along with the number of applications in each, so the competitive and non-competitive regions are listed on the slide. The peer review evaluation was managed and completed by Texas State University. Dr. Jennifer Speed and her team were uniquely able to gather, organize, and assign 29 subject matter experts from Texas as well as out of state to review the applications. Each of the 20 regions was assigned a uniform peer review panel for all applications. The panels in the 9 competitive regions had 3 peer reviewers, and the panels in the 11 non-competitive regions had 2 peer reviewers. That's a total of 467 total reviews completed, and 5 comments were provided per each score sheet. So the costs for this peer review were higher than past peer reviews, but in line with the volume of work that was needed and absolutely worth the investment to ensure that the selected projects are evidence-based. Members have been provided access to the online grant management system, which includes all of the application materials, score sheets, and evaluator comments. We also provided you the report that begins on page 15 of your book, And this separates each region and sorts the applications by their average peer review score within the region. The allocation for each region is at the bottom of each page and in blue. The allocation listed is the maximum that can be awarded for a region, but the council may choose to award less than the amount allocated to a region, or may choose not to award anything at all in a certain region. In the 9 competitive regions, we've also included a dark line under the last application that would be funded if you choose to award strictly based upon the peer review scores. Are there any questions about the process or how we got to this point with our spring 4 grants?
Not a question, Katie, but I do want to thank you and the Texas State team for really making the broad peer review a reality.
Okay. For the purposes of awarding the grants this afternoon, we're going to do one region at a time. For each region, we'll ask the council to identify your conflicts, then we'll discuss the regional decision, and then we'll make a vote. You should make award decisions based upon the criteria and requirements published in the NOFA. Those are also on page 14 of the board materials. And then lastly, just a reminder that the work of the peer review evaluators, including their scores, rankings, and other information submitted, are for your consideration as recommendations and only advisory. The ultimate award decisions are up to council and solely the council. Are there any more questions about what we're asking of you today? Got a lot more to go. Yeah, you can ask those questions. Okay. Now, before we go through each region, we want to take your vote on 2 preliminary issues that are applicable to all regions. First, some of the grant proposals may include items that were specifically excluded by the NOFA or otherwise not allowed under the NOFA. We're asking the council to authorize staff to remove from a grant any costs that are not allowed under the NOFA and to make any corresponding changes to the amount of the award or the project scope of work.
So moved.
Okay.
Okay. We have a second.
Second.
Members? Again, all those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. Any abstaining? Carries 10.
Awesome. Okay. For the second parliamentary matter, we'd like to have alternative awardees in each competitive region in case we're unable to reach a written agreement with an awardee. To determine which alternative awardees to approach, we suggest as a default following the rank order of the awardees' peer review scores, unless the council indicates otherwise in each regional vote. We ask the council to authorize staff to negotiate with alternative awardees if necessary in the rank order of their peer review scores unless otherwise specified. Any comments or questions?
Need a motion on that as well. And let me just repeat so that we know what we're doing. It's a motion to authorize staff to negotiate with the alternative awardees, if necessary, in each competitive region in the rank order of their peer review scores, unless for any particular region, the council directs staff to follow a different order. So it's just giving them the authority to negotiate. So
moved.
The motion, second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no.
Aye.
I'm gonna say it one more time. So those opposed, no. Aye. Any abstaining? Motion carries.
I want to know Dr. Patel has stepped out for a second, so that doesn't affect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Motion carried 9-0.
Excellent.
Yeah. Make that correction on the last one as well. Let's make the correction that was not here on the last one. All right.
Okay. So for the actual regional votes, I'd like to start, I suggest starting with Region 8. Effective in, for Region 8, this is the Round Rock region. Is there anyone on the council who wishes to disclose a professional or financial interest with any of the applicants in Region 8? There are known subcontractors or their subgrantees. Okay. Detective Enriquez, could you please present the applications for Region 8?
Yes. Through the applications in this region, found that 4 organizations should be awarded. Specifically, Blue Line Trails Community MHMR Center, Sims Foundation, Oakavine Recovery Center LLC, and Texas A&M University Health Science. Reviewed the peer review reports as well as the applications themselves. Feel that these 4 organizations are best suited to serve that region.
We'll need a motion on Region 8. Anticipate in a second.
I'll second.
Motion in a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. Bring 9 ayes, nays, motion carried.
Okay, let's stick with Detective Enriquez. Let's go to Region 9. It's the Dallas region. Is there anyone on the council who wishes to disclose a professional or financial interest with any of the applicants in Region 9, the Dallas region? They're known subcontractors or subgrantees.
That would be myself, Pedro Fernandez.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Fernandez. As a reminder, you may not participate in the discussion or decision regarding the grant awards for this region due to this conflict of interest. Detective Enriquez, could you please present the applications for Region 9?
Yes, I reviewed the applications for Region 9 and found that 11 organizations have been identified that should be approved for the award for this grant cycle. I reviewed the applications themselves for these organizations as well as peer review reports. Special attention was made to specifically 10, 11, 12, and 13 due that the scores were so high, or so close, excuse me. After review, I found some key indicators that I feel confident in moving forward with the 11 organizations. Those organizations would be University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center, North Texas Behavioral Health Authority, Youth 180, Rainbow Days Incorporated, the County of Dallas, Benton County MHMR Center, Smart Recovery USA, Harvard University, Ranch Hands Rescue, Senate Board Foundation, and lastly, Healing Hands Ministry.
We have a motion for Region 9. Do I have a second?
Second.
Please we keep it consistent. So thank you. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. It'll be 8 ayes and no nays. Motion carries.
Dr. Milton, would you like to go next?
Region 12?
Are you up for it?
Sure.
All right, Region 12, is there anyone on the council who wishes to disclose a professional or financial interest with any of the applicants in Region 12? There are known subcontractors or subgrantees. 12 being the Panhandle, Amarillo, Lubbock.
Yes. Yes, I was able to
Oh,
review.
hold on one second. Are there any, does anyone have any conflicts to disclose? Okay, great. Can you please present the materials?
Yes, this is a competitive region, Region 12, and I was able to review applications, the applicants of these organizations, and I would like to move to recommend funding for the top 5 ranked applicant organizations in Region 12. That would be applicant number 1618, which is the Lubbock Regional MHMR Specialty Health System. Applicant number 1638, the Lubbock Independent School District. applicant 1888, the West Texas Counseling and Rehab Program of Amarillo in Gray County in Tampa. Applicant 1711 for the West Texas Center for MHMR in Big Spring, Texas. And applicant 1874 for Central Plains Center in Plainview, Texas.
We have a motion. Go ahead, come on.
So moved.
All right.
I have to pause and answer if there's questions.
Are there questions? We do have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. There being none ayes. Nays, motion carried.
Region 13, is there anyone on the council who wishes to disclose a professional or financial interest with any of the applicants in Region 13? This is the San Angelo region. There are known subcontractors or subgrantees. Okay, Dr. Milton.
So we only have one applicant, so this is a non-competitive region, the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Council for Concho Valley. I was able to review that application. I thought it was a reasonable application and a reasonable proposal, and I would move that we approve and recommend funding for applicant 1771, the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Council for the Concho Valley.
Any questions or comments? Second?
Second.
Second. You've only got like 8 more. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. Hearing none ayes and no nays, motion carries.
Then we'll do Region 19. This is also Dr. Milton. Is there anyone on the council who wishes to disclose a professional or financial interest with any of the applicants in Region 19? This is the Wichita Falls area, or their known subcontractors or subgrantees. Okay, Dr. Milton.
Yes, so this is, once again, this is a non-competitive region. There was only one applicant for this region. I was able to review that application. It was scored rather low, but I think all in all, I think it's a reasonable application, and I would move that we approve, recommend funding for the Texas Treatment Services LLC applicant 1906 for Wichita Falls.
Motion to approve.
Any comments or questions before? All right, you have a motion and a second.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. Motion carried.
Dr. Demore, you're next on my screen. Are you ready for Region 10?
Yep.
Okay. Is there anyone, now we're on Region 10. This is the Fort Worth region. Is there anyone on the council who wishes to disclose a professional or financial interest with any of the applicants in Region 10, the Fort Worth area? They're known subcontractors or subgrantees.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no.
One at a time.
Yeah.
Dr. Mills, you have a conflict?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yes,
Say your name.
I do.
Dr. Thornton. Anyone else?
I also have a conflict. This is Pedro Fernandez.
Okay. All right, thank you, Drs. Mills, Fernandez, and Thornton. You may not participate in discussion or decision regarding the grant awards for this region due to this conflict of interest. Dr. Demore, could you please present the applications for Region 10?
Sure. So I reviewed the Region 10 Fort Worth area. It was a competitive region with 15 applicants, majority of which scored relatively near each other, and some that were not as good. After the review of everything and also looking at any kind of red flags through these, I want to recommend that the top 10 applicants be approved for funding. That would be Unity Recovery, Recovery Resource Council, My Health, My Resources of Tarrant County, Reach Midlothian, Inc., Vita Nova Supportive Housing, North Texas Addiction Counseling and Education, North Texas Behavioral Health Authority, Drug Prevention Resources, Inc., the University of North Texas Health Science Center, and the West Texas Counseling and Rehabilitation of Dallas, Inc. And I would move that the council award those aforementioned grants in Region 10 to those applicants.
Any questions? We'll need a second and a different second.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. There being 6 ayes.
Dr. Demore, are you ready? We'll do Region 11 next. Is there anyone on the
Sure.
council who wishes to disclose a professional or financial interest with any of the applicants in Region 11, the Abilene area? There are no subcontractors or subgrantees. Okay, Dr. Demore.
So I reviewed the applications in detail for Region 11, which is the Abilene area, and it was not a competitive. We only have these two that actually fall underneath the available funding, and probably a little bit less than half in terms of the cumulative ask. And those included Abilene Regional MHMR Center, DBA Betty Hardwick Center, and the West Texas Centers for MHMR. They both scored very similar, didn't have any significant concerns from any of the peer reviewers. And I am recommending that I move that the council award the grants in Region 11 to the Abilene Regional MHMR Center, DBA Betty Hardwick Center, and the West Texas Centers for MHMR.
Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. 9 ayes, no nays, motion carried.
Dr. Thornton, you're next on my screen. Let's do Region 14. This is the Midland area. Is there anyone on the council who wishes to disclose a professional and financial interest with any of the applicants in Region 14, the Midland area? They're known subcontractors or subgrantees. Dr. Thornton, can you present the region, please?
Sure. I reviewed the applications and the scores for this region. I will say that there were 5 applications. The 5th and the lowest ranking application had some significant gaps in the application, and the peer reviews noted some missing components. There was also some confusion between it and the top rated region about how they are different. So I would recommend funding applications number 1569 Cardea, number 1636 Smart Recovery USA, 1731 West Texas Centers for MHMR, and West Texas and 1765 West Texas Counseling and Rehabilitation Programs of Odessa, Inc. And I would not recommend funding Andrews County Health Department.
Are there any questions or comments? All right. Do I have a second?
Second. Dr.
Okay.
Thornton, could you make the motion formally, please?
Yes, sorry. I move the council to award. Do you need me to read the details again?
Do you have to read the details again? No, didn't see that. You made the motion.
I move to award the Cardea, Smart Recovery USA, West Texas Center for MHMR, and West Texas Counseling and Rehabilitation Program of Odessa, Inc., and not to award Andrews County Health Department.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, nay. Hearing none ayes and no nays. Motion carries. Thank you, Dr. Thornton.
Okay. Now we're going to do Region 6. This is the San Antonio region. Is there anyone on the council who wishes to disclose a professional or financial interest with any of the applicants in Region 6? There are no subcontractors or subgrantees, and this is San Antonio. Dr. Thornton, would you like to present what you found?
Sure. Yeah, this was a very competitive region. there were a lot of very highly scored applications, and as you see, the cutoff is pretty high, and so commendations go to all those who are even below the cutoff. But I move that the council award the grants in Region 6 to number 1762 Bexar County MHMR, 1824 Bexar County Hospital District, 1494 San Antonio Council on Alcohol and Drug Awareness, 1905 Form Communities Inc., 1502 Hill County Council on Alcohol and Drug Abuse, 1523 Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid, 1628 West Care Texas Inc., 1504 Rise Recovery, 1465 Corazon Ministries Inc., and 1545 Unity Recovery.
Any questions, comments? Have a motion? Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, nay.
You voted no, Sandra.
Dr. Wilkes, I have you next on my screen. You want to do Region 16, Waco?
Yes. Region 16 is a non-competitive area of Waco. There were 2 applications and they both scored very high. So I think they would serve this area very well. So I motion for the council to approve and fund the 2 applications. The first one is Heart of Texas Region MHMR Center, and the second one is Heart of Texas Community Health Center.
Any questions, comments?
And also, does anyone have any conflicts to disclose? Questions or
No.
comments?
And I need a second. A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. No.
Dr. Wilkes, your next region is Region 1. Is there anyone on the council who wishes to disclose a professional or financial interest with any of the applicants in the Northeast Region
I have
1?
conflict of interest for Region 1.
Thank you, Dr. Louise. As a reminder, you may not participate in discussion or decision regarding the grant awards for this region due to this conflict of interest.
So the Region 1 is a competitive region. There were 9 ranked applications from the peer review analysis. The top 5 were ranked very high, pretty close together, and have minimal risk. I motion for the council to fund for the top 5, which include number 1, Recovery Resource Council. Number 2, East Texas Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse. Number 3, Senecor Foundation. Number 4, the University of Texas Health Science Center at Tyler. And number 5, the Methadone Clinic of East Texas.
Any comments or questions? We have a motion. We need a second.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Carry.
Let's move to Region 3, the Houston region. Starting within Region 3, Houston, is there anyone on the council who wishes to disclose a professional or financial interest with any of the applicants in Region 3, their known subcontractors or subgrantees?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Dr. Thornton, as a reminder, you may not participate in the discussion or decision regarding the grant awards for this region due to this conflict of interest. Dr. Fernandez, could you please present these applications?
Yes. So I will say I reviewed the applications for this region and was overall really impressed by the 27 submissions. This was a really diverse collection of organizations seeking to address the opioid crisis in the Houston area. I was particularly struck by the variety of proposed programs, including the creation of a jail release team, the integration of mat services in non-traditional spaces like primary care, expansion of peer support specialists, and increasing education and outreach for vulnerable communities. Overall, after reviewing the applications, I am in agreement with the average scores provided by the reviewers and do recommend proceeding according to their rankings. So that means I would move to motion, motion to award the top 18 within this region, which are the University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston, Harris County Public Health, the Center for Recovery and Wellness Resources, the Council of Recovery, the Santa Maria Hospital, Inc., El Campo Memorial Hospital, Texas A&M University Health Science Center, Fort Bend Family Health Center, Inc., the Mount Rose Center, the Phoenix Multi-Sport, Inc., the University of Houston, Formed Communities, Inc., Texas Treatment Centers, the 13th Step, Association for the Advancement of Mexican Americans, the Magnificent Houses, Inc., Phoenix Houses of Texas, Inc., and the Woman's Home.
Any comments or questions here? Right. Have a motion, need a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. Being 9 ayes and no nays, motion carries.
All right, we'll move to Region 4, the Corpus Christi region. Is there anyone on the council who wishes to disclose a professional or financial interest with any of the applicants in the Corpus Christi region or the applicants' known subcontractors or sub-grantees?
Yes, I do.
Dr. Thornton, as a reminder, you may not participate in the discussion or decision regarding the grant awards for the Corpus Christi region due to this conflict of interest. Dr. Guevara?
Yes, I reviewed the applications in Region 4 Corpus Christi and found them there were many well-deserving organizations in this highly competitive region. I also reviewed the independent peer review results, including comments, scores, and rankings, and I found them to be reasonable and fair. Based on the amount of funding available in the region and the total average scores for each organization, I will recommend that we award Region 4 Spring Core grants to the 6 top scoring organizations that fall within the cutoff range for funding available. And the reason why I say that is I'd like to point out that there were 3 organizations in this region whose average score was exactly the same, resulting in a 3-way tie for place 6. However, only one of those organizations could be fully funded based on the amount of funding they requested and the amount remaining after factoring in the funding request for the top 5 scoring applicants. Therefore, I would recommend that we award, in line with the peer review results and rankings, the University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston, Adult and Teen Challenge of Texas, Senacor Foundation, Billy T. Catan Recovery Outreach, Coastal Bend Wellness Foundation, and the 6 top scoring one that also in which there was enough funding to meet the request was Amistad Community Health Center.
And was that, that was a motion, is that right, Dr. Guevara?
That is correct.
Could you say that you moved?
Yes, I move that we accept, we approve funding for those top 6 scoring organizations.
Thank you. Any questions? I know a little difficult to hear on this side, so if you have questions or need, you got it all? All right. We have a motion, when you second?
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. 9 ayes and no nays, motion carries. Oh, I'm sorry, that 8 ayes. No nays.
Next is the Brownsville region, Region 5, or anyone on the council wishes to disclose a professional and financial interest with any of the applicants in the Brownsville area, if they're not subcontractors or subgrantees. Dr. Guevara?
Yes, for Region 5 Brownsville, this was a non-competitive region. There were 2 applications and more than enough funding available for them. I did review the applications, the peer review ranking scores, comments. There were not any major concerns pointed out by the peer reviewers, and the applicants appeared to be fair. And therefore, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we approve funding for Region 5 Brownsville to Behavioral Health Solutions of South Texas and Brownsville Community Health Clinic Corporation.
Any questions on the motion? A second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Hearing none ayes and no nays, the motion carries. We're almost there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're getting close.
Region 20 is Laredo. Is there anyone with any conflicts to disclose? Okay, Dr. Guevara?
Yes, so Region 20, Laredo area was also a non-competitive region. There were only 3 applicants, and the scores for them were fair to high. I saw no concerns among the peer review comments, and each of the 3 appeared to be well documented proposals. Therefore, based on the amount of funding available and the scores of the peer reviewers, I recommend that we award in line with the scores and rankings by those peer reviewers to the Association for the Advancement of Mexican Americans, Texas A&M University Health Science Center, and the City of Laredo.
Any questions? We have a motion. Need a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. Hearing none ayes and no nays.
Okay. We'll do Dr. Lubise's non-competitive regions first. First, we'll do Region 17, the Bryan area.
Yeah,
Anyone with anyone with any conflicts to disclose? Dr. Lubise, would you like to present what you found?
yeah, it's my pleasure to present on Region 17, the Bryan area. Like Katie said, this is a non-competitive region. And I reviewed all the applicants, and I'm satisfied with their presentation. And I'm very hopeful that will make a difference to that region. The review has recommended for just the 4 applicants to be awarded. So I want to propose to the council and also move a motion that those 4 applicants be awarded this grant. And the applicants as follows: Texas A&M Health Science Center, Big Brothers, Big Sisters of South Texas, God's Nest, Adult and Teen Challenge of Texas.
Any questions, anyone? We have a motion. Need a second?
Second.
I'll second.
You're very helpful today. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. Motion carries.
We move to Region 18, the Plano area. Is there anyone on the council who wishes to disclose any conflicts? Dr. Lubise?
Again, this is another very non-competitive region, and we just have 4 applicants. Again, the reviewers did a great job, and I agree with their assessment, and I want to recommend and also move a motion that the 4 applicants be awarded their grants as stated, and the 4 applicants as follows. 1 is the Recovery Resource Council. The second is Farm Communities, Inc. The third is a Family Place Counseling, PLLC. And the 4th is Grace to Grow and Grace to Change, DBA.
Any questions? Right, we need a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. And go on to the next one. Motion carries.
Okay, we'll move to Region 2. This is the Southeast region. Is there anyone with any conflicts to disclose regarding professional or financial interest with any of the applicants in the Southeast region, Region 2, or their known subcontractors or subgrantees?
Yes.
That's Dr. Thornton.
Yes.
As a reminder, you may not participate in the discussion or decision regarding the grant awards for Region 2. Dr. Louise?
Yeah, again, pleasure to review the applicants here. This was a little competitive region with 9 applicants. The grant review has recommended 8 of them. I agree with the assessment. Just want to point out a question they raised regarding the 8 applicant here, Texas Treatment Services. The concern is scored fairly low compared to other applicants. The concern here was that this is a statewide organization, and it wasn't very clear if what they were going to do was going to be limited to the Southeast region or extend to other areas. If we can get that clarification that what they plan to do with this grant award will be limited to Southeast area, I will go ahead with their recommendation and also move a motion that the 7 applicants, including the 8th one, be awarded this grant. And they're as follows. Number 1 is University Texas Health Science Center at Houston. The second is ADA Women's Center. The third is Texas A&M University Health Science Center. The fourth is Adult and Teen Challenge of Texas. The fifth is Recovery Council of Southeast Texas. The sixth is Loyola Foundation. The seventh is Spindletop Center. And then the last, like I mentioned, is Texas Treatment Services, LLC.
Just to clarify on your motion, or would you mind clarifying and stating your motion one more time?
I recommend that these 8 applicants be awarded, but for a proviso for the 8 applicant Texas Treatment Services, that the grant award should be used to improve areas, the Southeast area, not other parts of Texas. And the other applicants are, one is University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston. Number 2 is ADA Women's Center. Number 3 is Texas A&M University Health Science Center. Number 4 is Adult and Teen Challenge of Texas. Number 5 is Recovery Council of East Texas. Number 6 is Loyola Foundation. Number 7 is Spindletop Center. And number 8, like I mentioned, is Texas Treatment Services, LLC. I want to move a motion to get the council's approval.
Any questions, members? Well, we have a motion, need a second. Okay, motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Unanimous, no nays, motion carries.
We've got 2 regions. 2 regions left, 1 member left. We'll start with Region 15, the El Paso area. Is there anyone with any conflicts to disclose? Hi, Dr. Mills. Would you like to lay out the applications for Region 15?
I have reviewed the applications from Region 15. It's a non-competitive region. I support grants from the El Paso County, Libyan Incorporated. So I make a motion that El Paso County and Libyan Incorporated grants be approved.
Any questions, members? Oh, we have a motion, need a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. No nays, motion carried. Last one.
Last but not least, this is Region 7. This is the Austin region. Is there anyone who has on the council who's interested to disclose a professional or financial interest with any of the Region 7 applicants or their known subcontractors or subgrantees?
Yes.
Dr. Thornton, thank you. As a reminder, you may not participate in the discussion or decision regarding the grant awards for this region due to the conflict of interest. Dr. Mills?
Yes, I have reviewed the applicants from Region 7, the Austin area. It's a competitive region. 7 of the applicants were approved for funding that was available. Applicant number 1 was Texas A&M Health Center. Applicant number 2, the University of Texas at Austin College of Pharmacy. Number 3, Austin Travis County Mental Health and Mental Retardation Center. Number 4, the University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston. 5, Sims Foundation. 6, Clean Cause Foundation. And number 7, Centacor Foundation. Make a motion that the top 7 applicants, as read, be approved.
Any questions, members? We have a motion, need a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Being none ayes and no nays, the motion carries. Members, we do have next a couple of amendments that we need to address.
We're done with core voting.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Thank you, everybody.
We're
Very exciting.
We're done with those, so those we'll move forward with all that. Thank you. All right, we're gonna move to agenda item 15, agenda item 5.
On page,
Okay,
on page 36 of your packet, you'll see some information about an amendment that University Health has requested to their grant agreement.
So we are gonna move into closed session at this point in time, so which y'all may not notice, but it will be.
You have to read that exact.
So, we're gonna move into government code section 551.071 to discuss legal issues concerning the amendment with council, and we asked most of the staff to leave the room, and then we'll make adjustments on what that's as well.
For the remote members, you should get an option on your screen to join a breakout room. Please do that. For anyone in the public watching online, we're gonna go dark for a while, and you'll see us when we get back.
All right, thank you, everyone. Now that we're back in open meeting, would the council like to discuss whether to approve the request amendment to the University Health Grant Agreement?
Yes.
This is the amendment on page 36.
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
So, having reviewed the document in the board book, it's unclear to me why the request is being made. Was more information provided to us other than this one page, or to you all more than the one page?
Yeah, if I may, the reason that they're asking for the amendment, first of all, they experienced some implementation delays getting the program off the ground, particularly when it came to hiring and finding folks to fill the positions that they had included. The second was related to procurement, and it was actually in our favor. They were able to negotiate a contract with a provider who was able to provide a reduced rate, which would allow for more naloxone than they originally planned for. However, because of the delays, they did not expect that they're going to meet the 80% within that 2 years, and therefore are shifting some of the costs to the third and fourth year, so the second half of the contract.
And can you remind us when these years are taking place?
The grant agreement was signed in April. So the first year was April of 25 through 26. Then April of 26 to 27, 27 to 28, and 28 to 29.
So I guess I'm unclear why they can't do something a year from now. Because the stipulation is that a certain amount has to be done within the first 2 years, correct?
Yes. They are, part of their model is to establish distribution networks and partners. And so given that the rate that they're on in their outreach efforts and the number of partners and distribution network partners, that's the rate that they're projecting.
Okay.
How does this align to the conditions before the grant was awarded?
You mean if we were not to amend, how close would they get?
Yes. Well,
They would expect to get to about the 53% level instead of 80.
And just to repeat, the year one doesn't end until April of 2026.
Excuse me, October, not April. So the first year is coming up at the end of October.
October 2025 is the end of the first year.
Yes.
So they're still in the first year, though.
Correct.
Yeah. And just like Kate to kind of remind everybody of how it operates, I guess
It is reimbursement contracts or agreements, so this request from the grantee is looking forward. They're trying to do their forward planning, like, should we buy a lot right now because our contract said we would? Or should we be more strategic and look at our 3-4 year plan? But to the acting controller's point, it's all reimbursement. So if they spend nothing in the next year, we won't reimburse them anything in the next year. If they spend a lot tomorrow and all of their documentation is there, then we will reimburse them for that. But this is all, it's reimbursement based, and they're just trying to make longer term decisions.
So they still have more than a year to spend what they've been awarded and still be on time?
Correct. To get to the 80%, they still have more than a year, yes.
Yeah. And the naloxone have expiration dates of multiple years. So I guess I'm not seeing a strong justification, at least in the documentation that we were shared, that was shared with us, that this is needed.
Dr. Mills.
I would like to make a motion.
All right, we have a motion. Are there any questions or comments?
Well, what's the
Or
motion?
The motion is to deny the request to amend.
All right, we have a motion to deny the request to amend. Is there any other discussion? And I may ask staff to discuss just to make sure we have all the information pertinent before we move on it. Does anybody else have questions or comments? Now, I would ask staff if there's anything we need to know before we can move to a second that we haven't discussed that's any pertinent to the decision.
Yeah, the only thing I'd like to just make sure we're clear on is that the amendment would provide for more naloxone over the course of the grant than we originally anticipated. So there may be a benefit to the program there if that's where we put our program.
Well, I have a question about that. I don't know that you would. I'm not sure how that makes sense. Is the price scheduled to decrease in future years? Because they can certainly pay a lower amount today if they're saying that there's a lower price to be paid today than they originally planned. I don't believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, of course, but I don't think our contract says, well, you budgeted at $45 a unit and now it's $40 a unit, so you have to pay the company more than they want for their product. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think the distinction is the amount of time. They feel that with the added time to meet the goal, that they'd be able to increase the amount they actually distribute.
But the price per unit is not going to change.
At this point, no. They've secured a vendor.
Okay.
So, and there's no cost of money if it's our money. I guess is basically from a business standpoint, that's the way I look at it is, well, if you're gonna rebate, there's no cost of money for me, so I'm gonna spend all I can spend because you're gonna pay me back. And there's no cost of my money because I'm gonna get the state's money back. Now, we have a motion. Any other comments before we go to it? Right?
Can I just say, I mean, this course is what they've asked for. There's nothing stopping us from also negotiating with them something in between, if that's what the council wants us to do. So just want to.
Well, okay, I heard that they can negotiate. If you remember, we gave them some flexibility earlier in a motion that we gave to do some negotiating. And so if this fails, the amendment, if you'll remember to the first part of our meeting, we did give them some negotiating authority moving forward. Right? So we have.
Yeah, that was for a different brand.
Oh, that's the core brands.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, my comment, the reason for my motion is that the negotiations occurred after we accepted their grant. There was a period of negotiations, and they shook hands with the state, and they said, we're gonna do A, B, and C. And so they gave their word, they gave their institution's word that they were gonna execute it. And their grant was awarded based on their promise, their institution's promise that they were gonna execute.
Yeah, I'm not voting on this, but I do think it's a bad precedent.
I agree.
I think it's a bad precedent. So,
Well, oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying, not for nothing. This was prioritized as a short-term strategy, and so by delaying it years, it kind of defeats the purpose.
all right. We have a motion. Need a second.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. Any abstaining? No. So the motion passes, which means the amendment fails. To clarify. All right.
Okay, we'll move on to agenda item number 6. On page 38, you'll see the rule revisions that you approved at the last meeting for publication. These were published in the Texas Register and no comments were received after the rules were published. And we need another vote for final adoption. Are there any questions?
All right. Do I have a motion for adoption of the proposed rule amendments? Oh, this is easy. All right. We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those no. Hearing nine ayes and no nays, the motion carries.
Members, in the future, please remember to unmute in order when it's time to vote. Yeah, can we do that one again?
Yeah, so we're gonna take that vote, just make sure everybody was unmuted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Anyone abstaining? Thank you. The motion passes once again.
Okay, agenda item number 7. This is a new set of rule revisions. These are much more extensive and they begin with a 1-page summary. These revisions are to align the rules with actual practice and to simplify the council's operations. There's a lot in here. A lot of it is just conforming to practice. Are there any questions or concerns?
All right, That being the case, is there a motion to publish the proposed rule amendments in agenda item number 7 in the Texas Register and to authorize the director to make no substantive revisions to the amendments if necessary? Need a motion?
So moved.
Right, and a second?
Second.
It's Dr. Fernandez.
Fernandez, thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those no? There being none ayes and no nays. Motion carried.
Thank you. The proposed rule amendments will be published in the Texas Register within the next few weeks. And then they'll be subject to the 30-day public comment period. And then the next meeting will ask you to finally adopt the amendments before they go into effect. If it pleases the chair, we'll move to item number 8. This is regarding the working groups. 4 working groups met since our last meeting. The evaluation working group met on May 21st to start discussing appropriate evaluation process moving forward. The Cycles and Strategies group met on July 3rd with staff to go over the recovery housing NOFA to ensure it was keeping with the direction that the working group intended. The NOFA working group met on July 28th to review the recovery housing NOFA. The working group suggested some changes that staff incorporated. And then the peer review working group met on August 20th to go over the Texas State peer review process and results. Texas State gave an overview of the review process, and discussion was held about how to adequately review all of the grant applications. And then lastly, you might not remember this group, the Code of Ethics working group is now defunct. But Mark and I met separately with 2 of the members to discuss the incorporation of the ethics standards into Senate Bill 1901, as well as the rule changes you just adopted. We just wanted to make sure that the members were comfortable with this decision. Does anyone want to add anything to the discussion about the working group meetings that we've had? Okay, we'll move on to agenda item number 9. That's a really good segue to move on to reorganizing the work groups. As you know, shortly after the council was formed, the council approved the creation of several working groups. Since that time, some of the groups have been overutilized, some of the groups have been underutilized, and some of them aren't really the best fit for the program's needs anymore. Now that we've all gained experience and have a greater understanding of how the program should operate, I would like the council to authorize me and the staff to reorganize the working groups to better serve the mission of the program. My vision is 3 working groups with clearly delineated purposes, regular meetings, regular briefings, and every member on just one group. The working groups could receive presentations from external entities, from each other, and report back at council meetings, maybe more so than now. I'm definitely interested in taking member input before we finalize the structure and assignments. I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions on that? If not, then I'll need a motion to authorize the director to reorganize and reassign the working groups.
Motion.
Would we know the working groups? I don't see.
Sorry, Dr. Louise, what?
Now, I wasn't sure of the 3 working groups that you decided.
I haven't named them yet. I have some ideas. I was
Okay.
gonna survey everybody.
All right.
It'll be open for input as well, so. For the motion, I'll need a second.
Second.
Yeah, I have several seconds, so choose one. All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. All right. We will have working groups to come.
All right. Okay, now we're on to the fun item. This is agenda item number 10. As you know, Senate Bill 1901 prescribed fixed terms for members and requires the existing members of the council to draw lots to determine the length of their terms. The language from Senate Bill 01 is on page 19. Senate Bill 1901 is on page 60 of your board book. In this mug right here, we have 13 popsicle sticks, AKA tongue depressors. 4 sticks are dated 2027, 4 are 2029, and 5 are 2031. I'm gonna ask everyone to draw a popsicle stick, read out your number, please don't replace it. And after we do the 3 members in the room, we'll ask the people online to name a delegate or a proxy. And then we'll ask the acting controller to draw for the absent members in the vacant seats. Who would like to start?
Pass it around.
Okay. Yeah.
2031.
All right. Don't replace it.
2029.
Dr. Mills got 2031.
All right, go with.
All right, Dr. Thornton, who do you want to pick for you?
You can, sure.
You got 2029, Dr. Thornton. Dr. Demore?
Dr. Mills can pick for me.
Oh.
Twenty.
2031, congratulations. Dr. Wilkes.
Dr. Mills, go ahead.
Wait, all second. Wait.
27.
27.
That was 27.
Keep it over here.
Who wins, 31 or 27?
Dr. Fernandez, who do you want to draw for you?
Katie, why don't you draw for me?
Okay. Dr. Fernandez, you got 2031. Dr. Eloise.
You go ahead and draw for me.
You also got 2031.
So. All of them.
Almost. Dr. Rivera.
I'll let Ethan, speak for me.
Oh, you say Ethan?
Yeah.
He's got on space.
We're having a little trouble with your audio. I hope you said Ethan.
27.
Oh,
What was it?
okay. And Dr. Patel and Ms. Yoder are not here. We should probably have the acting controller do for them. Which one do you want to do first?
Let's do Patel.
Patel. We got 2027 for Patel.
Should be thankful.
This is Ms. Yoder.
I don't see.
Yoder also got 27. All right, we're gonna ask you to draw the term for the vacant position that will be appointed by the speaker. 2029. And then the last one, I hope it's, though this is the HHS appointee, is also 29.
All right.
Does that add up?
That's,
Oh my gosh, we're almost,
all right.
all right, we're almost to the end.
Yeah.
If it pleases the chair, we'll move on to the financial status report. The memo's on page 62 of your materials and is summarized on the slide. The financial memo reflects revenues, expenditures, and balances for each of the accounts. Table on the screen summarizes these balances and highlights large expenditures. The first line, the trust fund, is the account that the council has the authority to spend. As you see, that account is where the hospital district distributions and the one-time payment to the Texas Access to Justice Foundation, where those payments come from. That top line is also where the council's $160 million and discretionary grant issuance plans will come from, as you see on the second slide. A couple other cool things I'd like to point out in this financial memo. The trust fund earned an additional $8.6 million in interest since you saw this memo in April. Beginning in May, we distributed another $15.4 million to hospital districts. And this includes 16 newly joined districts that also received their first round allocation. And then on page 63 in the middle of the table, you'll see that we started reimbursing our K-12 opioid prevention education grantee. In June, we spent $65,000 to Texas A&M University for their first monthly reimbursement. And then we have reimbursed University Health another $209,000 for the naloxone as our grantee on that project. Are there any questions or concerns about the financial memo? And I will point out that in my idea vision for reorganizing the work groups, I'd like one work group to spend more time going over the numbers with us. I think that would be really helpful to have a more regular update for y'all, for some of y'all on that. Okay, we're ready for 12? All right. The staff has been working very hard since our last council meeting. On June 15th, we added 2 new grant specialists to the team, Coral Beza and Josh Layton. They're downstairs. They both hit the ground running and they've been a very tremendous help to the program. We had a summer intern, Isaiah Zabala. He completed his assignment with us in early August. He's returned back to Texas A&M. He did great work helping us track down some of those hospital districts. He also sent out a research roundup. We held the summer roundtable on June 4th. It was very well attended. We liked having Dr. Fernandez there. It's like he had to step out. University Health gave a really informative presentation on their naloxone grant. And we're going to have another roundtable at the beginning of October. Over the summer, we published 2 very cool online Tableau dashboards. The first is a cleaner, snazzier update so folks can see the distributions that the council and settlements have made to political subdivisions. And then the other Tableau dashboard shows where University Health has been distributing naloxone. I really encourage you to check those out. They're very cool, and the entire controller's agency, this is kind of groundbreaking for the whole agency to publish Tableau dashboards, and it's fun to be at the front end of that. We also have a very cool 1-pager summarizing our program's finances. Check that out as well on our website. It took us a while, but we finally executed the grant agreement with Recovery People for our peer-to-peer grant. That was executed at the end of August, and they're going to hit the ground running very shortly. Our recovery housing NOFA was posted on August 21st. That officially opens the application period. All questions regarding this open solicitation and all open solicitations must be directed to CPA as described in the NOFA. If we get questions before September 16th, we'll formally publish the questions and the answers in our formal Q&A, hopefully by the end of September. And the deadline for applications for that grant is October 16th. And then the last thing I'll add is that I've really enjoyed getting to know each of you. I got to do one-on-ones with almost all of you. I think our new working group structure is going to tap into everyone's strengths and interests a little bit more. And I think we have really good things ahead. That's all I have. Do you have any questions? Okay.
I just want to thank Katie for her hard work. Just know that we really appreciate all your effort and enthusiasm and the excellence you bring to the table. Just wanted to say that.
I appreciate that. I have a really, really good team. Thank you. We're hoping to have our next meeting in late November, early December. And hopefully when we can award and look at the applications for the recovery housing NOFA.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. I do have a question before we end here.
A future meeting, it's my understanding that we could distribute some of the money that was not distributed today because of some districts. At the end of the cycle, we could, and I think we're going to add that to the agenda because there were some qualified grant applicants that did not get funded. So I would like that added to the agenda.
Yep, the reallocation is an option once we're through the grant cycle. So yes, thank you.
Didn't utilize all those funds, so when there was something that scored high, they didn't get anything, so, yeah, good point. All right, go ahead, Dr. Thornton.
In the original plan, we had the second set of core. Are we, can we discuss the timeline for that? The 3-year version?
Let's see, we're calling those the fall programs. And, I think we're aiming for late fall to release that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of things behind the scenes we have to line up, but we definitely still want to get it out in the fall.
Yeah, not criticizing, just want to give an update because I assume we have people watching and wondering. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And depending upon how we phase in this new working group structure, we'll either use the old structure or the new structure, but there will be council eyes on the NOFA before it goes out.
Very good. All right, any motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Say every time.
And it is 3:47 on September 8th, 2025. Thank you all very much.